everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Darren Connell. You should know that by now. And before we start, I would like to give a shout out to Merchant City Medical. They have been very kind to sponsor this month's podcast. I've actually had some work done at them to get a hair transplant. I've not got any hair in my, I've not got any gel in my hair, but they are a fantastic company based in Glasgow that are selling very affordable hair transplants. They are basically stopping people from going over to Turkey so they can get work done here. They're matching the price of like Turkey prices. So if you're self-conscious about losing your hair, if you know you lost your hair through stress like what happened to me at the start, I would say just go and get it done. You pay a small deposit and then you can pay them up over a small period of time. It's very, very affordable. So get in touch with Paul, and let me see if I even got a number here. You can phone him on 041 221 9699. That is Merchant City Medical. Thank you very much.
It will magically appear in front of you on the screen, Darren.
Thank you very much.
They're getting out male boob jobs for a deposit.
I had mine done 10 years ago then. Trying my hardness not to laugh during that, mate. Would you think that was professional?
You're becoming a pro, mate. You're becoming a pro. I love it.
I mean, I'm very happy with how my hair's going, mate. That's only since July.
Well, I'll be honest, mate. I don't know what your hair looked like before.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a before and after on the screen while you're saying the ad, or you could say to Merchant City if you get like some pictures we could put on the screen or something like that. But no, listen, mate. If I seen you walking down the street, I would be like, that guy's got a full head of hair. I wouldn't be looking at that and thinking, what the fuck, you know what I mean?
Aye, there's a mutant walking down the street.
It's better than hair hiding. You ever seen somebody that does the mad fucking, they'll bring like the comb over? Like the Aye, fuck that, man.
Well, I mean, every hair loss is different. You get like gammon nut bald, slap head. My hair was falling out in the shower. Like chunks of my hair was falling out. Like I was just picking hair that was falling at my head. Right. So I think that was different for maybe normal baldness. But because I decided to take a Mac-free razor to it, and I was like slap head bald, and I fucking liked it, by the way. No. And birds liked it, I know, man.
Did they?
They liked a bald guy. But then Paul from Merchant City got in touch with us, and he says, look, we see you tweeting about no having any hair quite a lot. Would you like to get a hair transplant? And I thought, fuck it, I'm getting a hair transplant.
End the stigma.
Exactly.
Fucking get
it,
man.
I mean, I'm happy that I got it done, but I do miss having a bald head as well.
So, with a hair transplant, I'm intrigued, like, could you shave your head?
He says I could shave my head eventually. Aye. Right. I could go back to shaving my head if I want to.
And then it would come back in?
Yeah.
Right. That's class, mate.
So, because essentially they're just taking hair from my neck and they put it there.
The follicles?
Yes.
Right, is that what they do? So it's like a wee egg that's getting planted into your fucking head?
Aye.
Right, mate. You know what? I've got a wee bit of receding hairline, a wee bit of thinning, man. I might fucking pay a deposit and I don't know, man.
I think you're very handsome, mate.
Thank you very much.
I say this quite a lot in the podcast.
We'll start I know, people will be like, what does he fucking look like? I love the intrigue. I was watching something, this is going to seem like a strange question. They ever said to you, you look like Robbie Williams?
Are you being serious? Aye. Mate, I get it all the time.
Right, okay.
I've had it, not all the time. I've had it
a lot.
I've had it double figures.
Right, because he's doing the rounds on the American podcasts, and like, because he's in LA, and I think he must have something about to come out. I've seen him pop up in like 2 or 3 of the big American podcasts, and he's I mean, me and you have been mates for what, maybe, I mean, I met you for the first time. When was it? A year ago in Halloween for Kieran's podcast. Didn't really, I was just there, set up, left, and then we've kind of like interacted a wee bit more the last 6 months, let's say.
Yeah.
In that time, I have not seen or thought about Robbie fucking Williams, right? But I watched him he's a good personality, but I watched him talk shite for an hour, and then it was just there, and I was looking at him, I was thinking, damn, looks like fucking Robbie Williams. So you're a handsome bastard yourself, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. I've had, I used to do a joke. There was a tweet that I've done years ago, and it was Robbie Williams' headshot beside my headshot, and I used to call myself Bobby Williams because of Bobby. So I got that. I get Robbie Williams.
Right.
I've had, you know who else I used to get? I've had it a couple of times, man. Chris Boyd. I don't know why. I don't think I look
It's
like...
your blue eyes, mate. He's got the pearly blues.
Hey, I don't mind. I
Mate,
prefer Robbie Williams.
For sure. And if anybody was saying to me, do you know what? You look like Robbie Williams. Do you know the one that I got one time in a Tinder date? And honestly, I've never had anybody agree with this. The last day, you know, getting a bit of chat and being like, one of the things I would do is I would be like, what was it that through my profile would attract? Probably just a bad scummy way of trying to find out. Tell me what you liked about my Tinder profile so I can delete the rest to get more birds. But she said, oh, you looked like Jack Whitehall. And I was like, what? Like, half insulted, half confused that, like,
Nah.
do I look like Jack Whitehall?
That's the comedian.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
The mad posh guy?
Is it just because he's tall?
I don't know, mate.
Because that's the only thing that you
We've
have
got in common.
is that both of you are tall.
Both of you are called. I don't know, mate. Honestly, she was just like, I think you look like Jack Whitehall. I was like, nah. I've never really had people say to me that I look like somebody.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Do you want to see me without my beard?
I couldn't imagine you without a beard, mate.
I'll show you what I look like without my beard, right? Keep talking, mate.
I know, I'm just like awkwardly sitting. We've got plenty of subjects to cover this week. Don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me find one. I wonder if you'll be shocked.
I was like, you look sick or something.
I think you'll probably think I look like a wee boy or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, right, there's Egypt. Where the fuck?
I go through crazy stages. I love growing my beard, but I don't know if I could grow it that long. Holy fuck. Mate, that doesn't even look like you, man. Even your head's a different shape. Your skulls looks different.
But that's what I look like without my beard. The best one I had one time was in Maggie Mays. And the lassie was like, I really like your big jaw. And I was like, that's hell. No fucking desperate Dan. Like my big fucking chin, big square jaws. Like, that's my beard. And she was like, oh, really?
Amazing. So how have you been since I last seen you? Last week?
I've been all right, mate. But it's just been nothing new. You know, nothing exciting's happened. Just been all right. I suppose last time we were talking about, I was saying, I've had a good couple of days getting into New Year. I've kept it going. I threw my back. Right, well, I've got a bit of news. I threw my back on Friday.
Yes.
But I was back at the gym yesterday. Still feeling good. Still on it for the new year. Still pushing, mate. How about you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm to be honest with you, I'm the same as you. I've been really busy, just been trying to be positive, go to the gym, started back gigging. I've been doing well. Paul was supposed to come and see me on Saturday, but like he said, he fucked his back. The 2 years are getting old. I ate some massive humble pie last week as well.
Go on.
I like to think this is because it's a strength for character. Strength for character, is that even a term?
I don't know, mate. Let's make it a term.
I don't think that's a term, is it? Fucking brains melted, man.
So you were eating humble pie?
Humble pie, big time. I don't know if you are regular viewers of this podcast, listeners, but I went and did cold water therapy. That's what I done.
Right, how'd that come about? Tell us, what the fuck?
Right, so as you all know, I've been slaughtering these cunts for months on my social media, Facebook, on stage, on my podcast.
You get jokes on stage?
No even jokes with punchlines. I'm just like, cold water therapy, cunts. So anyway, who's on tonight?
Can I ask, is it getting a good response?
A lot of people are agreeing with it.
Right, good.
But there's a lad that follows me on Twitter. He goes under a fake name. And I never realised this until I spoke to him. It shows you how much I know. His name is Max Colby.
All right, Max Colby. Aye, man, pure mental health advocate guy, like...
Kolbe. Colby.
Aye, or Kolb, or something like that. Aye, I don't know, man.
I'm going to bastardise this. I think Max Colby is the patron saint of recovery.
Right, is that why he uses that name?
Aye.
Superb.
So he got in touch with me. I've spoke to him for ages, by the way. He's listened to the podcast and stuff. He's seen me actually slaughter cold water therapy.
Right.
as we've spoke about many times, I don't have a problem with people like Max or cold water therapy. I have a problem with people that are charging people that need help and they're taking advantage of them. Max doesn't do that, and the majority of them don't do that, but there is some of them there, and that's the cunts that I hate.
So when you went, there was people there that were some of the cold water cunts, like the...
No, it was just me and Max. I met him for the first time, right, and we drove up to Loch Lomond,
Right.
and I was going through all the things and the nerves that a beginner would probably go through. I was thinking, am I going to faint? Is the shock going to make me have a heart attack? The water might be dirty, so what about germs and shit? Because germs could get into my system. Because that actually happened to Chris Forbes. Chris Forbes did a scene for Scott Squad.
Right.
And he had to jump into a pond. And he went into a pond and he get infected. And something happened to his liver.
Right, but Loch Lomond's like a natural body of water, and a pond is like bricks with like dirty fucking brown water in it that fucking...
But obviously I don't know that.
Right, that's like the irrational thinking. How did they convince you to go?
It never took much convincing, because the stand-up comedian in me will literally do anything to try and get material. Good. And I love the madness of meeting just people that I don't really know, doing mad things that you wouldn't normally do. And plus, I'd like to think I'm open-minded as well. So if I slag something and somebody says, look, try this, I enjoy being corrected as well. So I went up.
That's humble, mate. That's really humble. See if you're open to being wrong.
Aye.
I mean, so many people that we know, we meet or whatever, they're just, they wouldn't admit that they're wrong. They wouldn't even engage with somebody. It's like, why don't you come and try it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I did it with veganism, slag day cunts for years. Done it with sober people and all. Weirdo bastards, man. Check gay cunts hard drives, man. Bunch of weirdo bastards. Next thing you know, I'm like, I'm 6 years sober.
So you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a professional hypocrite, mate. I love it. So what was it like?
He took us up. We went through some breathing techniques, very, very basic breathing techniques, to the point that he just says, cover your mouth with your hand, breathe through your nose, in and out, deep, for like a minute. It calmed me down. I was really self-conscious about taking my top off, and he says, you don't need to take your top off, you can go in with your t-shirt. And I thought, well, I'm not going to fucking I want to like experience the full thing. Right. So I had my water shoes that I got for Amazon for $5. Beautiful. Pair of shorts, and I took my top off, and I walked in. You go like knee deep, then it's waist deep, then it's like tit deep, then
full submersion.
He made me clasp my hands together, put them above my head, and you stop until the water goes there. Now I was only in for maybe 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and it was incredible. Straight away I done that to the cunt. No one of yous don't stop talking about this. Like, unbelievable. Like, he was a good guy. We had a good laugh. We went for some lunch after it. You go through all sorts of weird emotions. Like, it's complete and utter shock. Then it's like euphoria. I just found myself laughing as well. Like, this is fucking mental. And then I said to him, I was like, I feel like my tits are burning. And he said, I think it was along the lines of, you're a couple of stages before hypothermia. So
jump out.
And honest to God, it was a euphoric high. We've went through a lot of stress with self-employed stuff recently, arguments with pals and personal shit happening. I actually felt that just got that out of my system, and for the rest of the day I had a skip in my step. So if you're with someone like Max, who's on Twitter, that's a professional, I would say get yourself around people like that, rather than people who are saying it's 70 quid for Tony Robbins.
Yeah. So, I think, like, aye man, I love what you're saying, and I think before we were on mic and I was talking about it, mate, as much as I sit and I'm with you, I'm not, I have a cold water shower protocol that I do every day, where what I do is I go for a hot shower, just hot water, scalding hot water, and I go into that and I will like wash myself down and blah, 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 and like, and then I go like blisteringly cold for like 3-4 minutes, as much as I can pretty much take for the shower. And so I'm a bit of a hypocrite with it as well, but I don't have a problem. Cold water therapy is an ancient thing.
Yeah.
The science behind it's there. If you want to go and read it, you know, there's nothing mystic about it. There's nothing crazy. It like reduces inflammation. When you go in, like you said, all the demons come, get out, you can't fucking do this isn't working, this is pish, blah, 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 and you overcome it and you get this pure woof, like out the other side, quietens the mind and all these types of things. So I'm waggy. But what I can't go is the hypno fucking bullshit, you know, like this will sort your life. This is it, you know?
Yeah.
How can you going to jump into, you got to drive up to Loch Lomond every morning and set yourself up for the day? It's like that sort of idea. And then what we slagged a few weeks ago, the cunts fucking, that video that we watched, so the cunts were doing the push-ups in the cold water and all that pure.
Yeah.
Yes, trips. Here we go. We've fixed all our problems through the cold. It's like,
Yeah, I used to buy speed off you cunt.
you've been sexually abusing your veins for about 40 years, mate. Oh, fuck's sake. No, but I get the benefits of cold water are there. It's almost like the pure gym bro thing, isn't it? It's like pure, bro, all you need to do is go to the gym for 40 hours a week and you sort out your mindset. And it's like, how applicable is that? And I've got a big problem with the people that are out there selling it to people that have got mental health problems and saying that this is going to fix all your woes. But well done, mate.
Aye.
Well done. Gone.
Out here, I'm fucking
gone again.
I'd go back. Honestly, I'd go back.
100%, mate.
It was a drug. It felt like, I said that to him when I was in the water. I said, this is like cocaine, and it's like cocaine without the bad shit. It was just a pure, natural, euphoric high that I just, it was unbelievable.
How come you didn't feel the need to take a photo and blast it all over your social media like everybody else seems to do? This is what I've got a fucking problem with. Like this fucking virtue signaling bollocks that people are like, pure guys, just get in the cold. I've done it today, and it's like, stop showing off. Nobody gives a fuck. Like,
starting
seriously.
my day off with an awesome. It was weird because there was Asian tourists there, and they were taking pictures of like ducks,
right?
And then we walked in, and they were genuinely like that. What the fuck? There was somebody down at the beach smoking a joint as well, and it was just like, it's so common though. These cunts are everywhere.
Aye, but you noticed that why people actually do the cold water thing.
Yeah,
you know why that you get why that they're doing it and why people are talking about it. And stuff,
so
right? It's the same as Monroe's, mate. Like we slag the guys that climb the Monroe's, right?
Yeah.
And we go on about that. Like, I mean, you sitting here trying to say that exercise and conquering something and pushing yourself out your comfort zone's bullshit. I don't think we've ever said that the actual cold water stuff's nonsense. There's real I think I've said this so many times when we're talking about this. There are real benefits, and you've seen them firsthand, and you're like, I'm going to fucking do this again.
Yeah, fucking right.
Brilliant. But you got to start a business, hydrotherapy business, or even worse, are you going to start preaching to people about, you know what I mean? Like, that's the bit. Well, I've got a
Hello,
problem.
ladies and gentlemen, how are you this evening? Welcome to the cold water therapy sessions. You're like, is that Paul Ferris? Kind of looks like Paul Ferris. Then am I going to get shot now?
The guilt of murdering people went away as soon as I went in the cold, Darren.
So what has happened? There's been a couple of major news events recently. Basically, I'm going to go through them all. I don't want to see them all clustered. I mean, I said to my mate, what can I talk about in the podcast? And he sent us a news article about somebody that needed a hair transplant, a heart transplant.
Right.
And they used the heart of a genetically modified pig and put it into a human.
Right.
And this has actually happened. And there's a cunt cutting about with a pig's heart. Aye. Genetically
It's
modified.
incredible, isn't it, man?
That's crazy, isn't it? So, I mean, he'll probably die in about a week, but the fact that it still happened is mental.
Aye, I mean, if you'd have said to me 10 years, you know what I mean, like that type of thing, like they're going to be putting animal organs into humans and that'll be a viable transplant, you'd be like, what? I mean, how far away are we from growing shit, like
like organs and stuff.
aye, or like limbs even. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fucking what's that? What was that shite movie? About space, like the war in Starship Troopers.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
There's a bit in that where it shows you them growing a limb. Like the guy gets his arm cut off, and then the next minute you see he's got like a wee arm,
Yeah.
and it's like growing. How far away for that type
Mate,
of
I
fucking
don't
crazy,
think
crazy shit?
we are not that far away from that.
I don't think so either,
And
mate.
see, the thing is, I think that when that does happen, see when you're an old man, say you're 70 years old and you've got a wee bit of money and your arm starts to get fucked and you've got something wrong with your bones, I think people will just be paying for it to get replaced. Or, because it's kind of happening with stem cells, like supposedly that shit supercharges you and sorts you out.
Well, it gave fucking Mel Gibson's Dies Hard on back. You ever heard this story?
Aye. Mel Gibson, I've been with you since day one. Danny Glover, forgive them. Come on, everybody.
Gibbo. But I like stem cell stuff's amazing, and it's weird that in like the health Valhalla that is America, that you need to go to Mexico to get your stem cell research. But
Wait a minute. You can't just talk about Mel Gibson's dad getting a hard on and then move on for it. You need to fucking tell the story.
Well,
It's like the best part of the podcast. You can't.
the story was that his dad went to one of these hospitals in South America to get stem cell done for. No, don't quote me on this. It's like Alzheimer's. I'm sure it was something like that. But he noticed like a couple of days in that his fucking dick was rock hard, and then he started pumping nurses and shit. Like he was saying that he was having, like, he ended up going out with one of the nurses and the thing. But it literally. Well, this is where the fucking eating babies thing comes from, isn't it? It's like, because what is a stem cell? It's like the tissue of a fetus, isn't it?
Aye.
And then they inject it into wherever you're having trouble, your knee, your shoulder, and it regenerates. So this is where that sort of like baby eating conspiracy theory comes from.
I sound like a fucking
Mate,
idiot.
I could be getting this bang wrong, by the way.
Aye.
But
Is it? I take it it's. Unfortunately, it's dead babies through
abortions
what?
or whatever.
Is it abortions?
I think they take samples out of real fetuses that become babies.
Wow.
I don't think that it takes anything away from that. I think it's just like that, and then they whatever. I don't know, mate. I don't know what they do with it, to be perfectly honest. But I know that it is like sort of fetus tissue. That is what a stem cell is. Fuck it, Joe. I was going to say I'll Google it. Fuck it, I don't care if I'm right. It doesn't give a fuck.
Google it. It's brilliant.
But basically, like, it gave his dad a new lease of life.
Brilliant.
And meant that he could get his whole again, which was great, without Viagra, which, you know, just take a Viagra, it might work. But
it's cheaper as well.
it's cheaper than stem cell. But if you go in to get your, say you like you've got slip discs or whatever, and you go and you get a wee injection of stem cells in your back, and then your missus is getting fucking road every day, man. I'm sure every win-win. Happy days.
Speaking of hard cocks, Merchant City Medical do a procedure that makes your dick harder.
Is this a mid-podcast ad?
Aye, this is the mid-podcast ad.
What did they
give
do?
you an injection into your cock that makes your dick harder, that makes your sex life better. I got offered it and I said no.
Have you ever took Viagra?
Yes.
It's a great laugh, isn't it, man?
I took it when I was about 14 though.
Oh,
I thought I was going to die.
Did you?
I found one of my brothers, right? I'm not going to grass him, but he had some, right? And I took one, and I swear to God, my cock was rock hard for about 14 hours.
Aye.
I don't know how many wanks I had, but I remember like 5 in.the morning thinking, oh no, this is never going to go away.
Aye, mate, fuck me, man. I mean, taking Viagra at 14, you don't need it.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to be taking a Viagra, but you...
Aye. So when it wears off, like, your dick is still hard. Like,
you're like, no difference.
aye.
You ever tried Cialis?
I've never heard of that.
So Cialis is the weekend Viagra. So you take one pill of them, and I've tried it. I've had it before. I suffered from erectile dysfunction during my mental health problems, and I'm no ashamed to say that I ordered some pills to help me through that time because I wanted my hole.
Yeah.
But my dick wasn't working, so and that
The perfect advert for that drug.
aye.
It should
The
just be an
Glasgow.
audio of your voice. Like, I'm not ashamed to say that I got some. I wanted my hole, even though I was depressed as fuck.
Aye, well, my dick did work. The problem was that my mind wasn't working properly, and then so you don't get horny. You're just like, oh, everything's shite. But Cialis is like you. So say for instance, you were to take a 50 milligram. I think Viagra comes in 20, 50, and 100 milligrams. You take a 50 milligram Viagra, you've got to be able to get a hard on for about 12 hours. You know, like when I was taking it, this is 31, 32, as a 30-year-old man, you know, you would get a raging hard on right at the start, and then it would go away, but then it would come back after about 20 minutes, and you'd be able to like the effects of that last for about 12 hours, I would say. Cialis is like 72.
Wow.
Where you sort of feel the effects of it. Like you get an easy hard on for about 2 or 3 days, depending on what milligram.
What, a non-stop hard on?
No, it will go down, but then as soon as you see a pair of tits, man, boop, back up it goes.
Wow.
Or, you know what I mean? So, I mean, these things are there for you to, if you need it. Like I wouldn't take a Viagra now.
Yeah.
I might for a laugh. Like if my missus is like, do you want to have a wee weekend on top of me? But like, fuck it, man. Let's have some fun. Like one off. But I wouldn't take it. You know, I was taking it maybe like twice a week or something like that when I was really like sort of struggling with that. But mate, it works. It's great. I remember saying to my mate years ago when I first tried Viagra, I worked in McDonald's, and the guy that ran the McDonald's that I worked in was a drug dealer, and he get caught for it. He get caught with like heroin in his Beamer and get sent to Berlin, and then about 10 years ago he delivered a Chinese to my flat.
Wow.
I was pure, all right, Colin. But anyway, just outed him. Fuck it. It was in the Sunday Mail anyway, it doesn't matter. But he was like, "This big man, you want to try Viagra?" And like threw 2 Viagra tablets at me. I was like 19. And I was shagging a 35-year-old woman at the time, and I was like, I'm going to fucking plough through her tonight. I said to one of my mates, "Do you want one of these?" "I don't need it." And I was like, "I neither do I, but mate, surely it's going to be a laugh," you know what I mean? But I didn't realise that it would feel like an eckie.
All right.
Did you get that rush? Like blood rush into your head and all that?
Aye, I got a blood rush. Aye. Everything was so intensified because I was young, I think.
It's the same though.
Yeah.
Everything, like you become hyper aware and your ears start to glow. Like the blood pure rushes through your body.
Have they not been getting used for something else? Viagra's been getting used for another health reason.
When they developed it for heart problems. It was, and then they noticed that the rats were like shagging, like all the time when they were giving them. Well, obviously they're testing it on the rats, and then they did the human trials, and there was this adverse. So what it does is it capitulates the blood cells, which means that it brings down inflammation and it makes it easier for the blood to travel through your body. That's how it works, because it's just blood rushing to your fucking dick, right?
Yeah.
So it makes that easier process for your body to handle. And well, obviously people with heart problems, that would be a really good advantage to have the blood like pumping, and it raises your heart rate. So that's why they developed it. And then they realized, oh wait, and do you know that the marketing team for Pfizer were the people that come up with the term erectile dysfunction to sell Viagra to people? Before that, the term didn't exist. Nobody really spoke about it. Nobody knew that it was like
they invented it. Wow.
Interesting fact for the podcast.
Let's hope the guy that got a pig transplant doesn't take
What do you think
Viagra.
what's the funny adverse effects of getting a pig heart put in?
Just instead of snoring during the night, it's yeah, he's fucking oinking in his sleep back downstairs.
He needs to eat a trough. Hates bacon.
I imagine that. It's like, have you ever heard of the transplants? Or like people getting shit done and then they become like the person?
No.
So I think an Asian woman get a transplant and it was a murderer or something. She was started. Maybe I've just been watching too much horror films. I'm sure that happened. That happened in real life.
Somebody got a fucking liver transplant and turned into an alcoholic.
Right, so
what other news was there?
Right, so the massive news is Prince Andrew's going to go on trial in America.
You're kidding on?
That-
When did this happen?
It broke about an hour before I came in here, mate.
Oh, you're kidding
You
on.
can glance at your
I'm
phone
gonna have a
and
wee glance at
fucking
this.
Rain Man it and take as much in as you can, but it's not looking good.
For who? For Andrew?
Aye.
Oh, of course not, mate. Oh, I've just put in, I didn't put in Prince.
So what would happen if he get charged? Would he be in prison in
Mate,
America?
fucking Twitter. I've just put Prince, right? So you're saying that an hour ago it got announced that Prince Andrew's going to go on trial. And that's huge global news. I just put Prince into Twitter and it come up Prince Charming, Prince Charles, Prince William, Prince George, Prince Harry, nay Prince Andrew.
That's
They're fucking
crazy.
mothballing this, man.
That is crazy.
The bastards.
Prince Nazim.
Remember him, man?
Aye, he was a
Dancing
legend.
about. Prince Andrew fails in his bid to get a US judge to dismiss his civil case, which alleged that he sexually assaulted Virginia Giuffre.
Yeah.
So he faces a civil case, a civil trial, and I think that this is how fucking think about how sneaky this is. The technicality that they tried to use to defend Prince Andrew is that Jeffrey Epstein, a now dead open best mate of Prince Andrew and child abuser and people trafficker, paid her £250,000 to shut the fuck up like 15 years ago. And Andrew's basically like, well, she's been paid off, so surely I'm included and try to I don't know, like try to like jump on his mate's
And
back.
being
or
hushed,
Aye.
which is disgraceful.
I mean, what do
Like
you think?
it's kind of like you're admitting it, but no admitting it.
Aye. It's kind of like when people are like, but Michael Jackson was innocent, and you're like, he paid everybody off, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's no the act of an innocent man. Like, come on. Like, surely there's something. He might not have done what they're accusing or to the level, but there's something there.
Yeah.
There's no smoke without fire. How do you see this playing out?
With Prince Andrew,
Uh-huh.
honestly, the pessimist in me thinks that he's not going to get the prison. I
No.
just thought, just every single government, every single person since birth has failed me. Like Tory, Labour, everybody. It seems
Not about
like
me.
hey baby, it seems like the bad guys. It's
They
not
rule.
a Hollywood film. The bad guys always get away with it. So I think there's going to be either you'll never see him again for the rest of his life. He's going to commit suicide, or I just don't. Or the victim might die. Honestly,
Right.
what do you think?
I agree with you, mate. Nothing will happen.
Yeah,
He'll probably get found guilty, but there is no way, excuse me, that the British government will extradite the Queen's son. There is no fucking way that is going to happen. Not in a million years. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, the Queen's already gave him £2.5 million to fight his case. So, mate, I genuinely think this could be the end of the monarchy. Like,
Aye.
they're rife with paedophiles. They've been fucking rife with them, and now they're getting their fucking. This is what should have happened a long time ago. There's a Mountbatten. Don't know if you know about Prince Charles's mentor. He was a child abuser, like known. He disappeared. You know,
I never knew that.
he went to a fucking private island in the Virgin Islands, I think. Aye, mate. Savile, Rolf Harris, all very close to the royal family. Gary Glitter's got connections within the royal family. Like, the Prince, when the Queen met Prince Philip, hope you're loving hell, you cunt. But when she met him, she was 12, he was 20. They ended up
didn't know
getting
that
married
either.
or something creepy like that went on. He was 19, she was 14 or whatever. But they've, like, the Queen's uncle, who advocated the throne, was a massive Nazi, a massive fan of Hitler. All the Nazis had boys, you know, like this was part of the sort of Greek mythology and the way that they sort of like related to the Greek thing. George Soros was one of the boys, you know, like this is part of like the reason why people don't like him was that he was like a boy toy in a concentration camp. So
A boy toy?
I like the high up SS officers would have a boy.
To have sex with?
Aye, like a boyfriend that was a
Fuck's
child,
sake.
that they would dress up in the full uniform and would walk about with them, and I mean, that's all out there. So, mate, I think they've been rife with it. The BBC was rife with it. All of these institutions, you know, like through childcare, hospitals, all been rife with it. I know somebody, should I mention this? I might cut this out, I'll think about it, but I know somebody personally whose granddad was regularly sexually abused in a child's hospital in Glasgow. So we're not immune to it.
Holy fuck.
This is a thing. Child abuse has ran through every institution in this country and the planet. It's been something that we've hid away as like some sort of dark secret. We need to fucking face up to it. We need to face it. Like, there was more child abuse happened in the Glasgow housing schemes, you know, than anything, really. We don't talk about it. We talk about poverty. We talk about trauma, but we don't talk about how bad this is in our society. We're just refusing to fucking face it, mate. I think we're so disgusted by it that we don't want to know the extent, like a sort of forced ignorance. But I'm with you, mate. He's not going to face a fucking jury. There's no way they're going to make this guy. He's in line for the throne.
That's crazy.
He's in the line.
Yeah.
Like, he's in there somewhere. There's no way they'll allow that to happen, man. And I think that it could be the end of them because they won't allow it to happen.
Well, hopefully it is. It's a pretty intense subject, isn't it, for a podcast?
Aye, fuck it. We need to talk about it then.
It's the world, isn't it?
Aye, for sure, mate. Do you think that... What do you think about the Jeffrey Epstein sort of thing?
I think that was a conspiracy that people would call you a moonhowler about that was true, and it was in plain sight. And I think there's a term that you get, like a famous person into a room, have sex with a prostitute, you film it, and then you can use it as blackmail for power.
Aye.
That's just what he done, but I don't know if he did it with, kids and stuff. But, you know, he had a pedo island. He's took all these famous people over to the island, and he get caught. And I truly believe that he didn't commit suicide.
I think he was murdered.
I think he was murdered.
I wouldn't rule it out. I don't know. Like, I'm leaning, like, my sort of ignorant opinion is that he was suicided.
Yep.
You know, like fucking Dr. David Kelly with a fucking needle in the neck.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he get murdered.
It wouldn't surprise me if he committed suicide either.
Yeah.
As a way of like, so the conspiracy mind would say that he was murdered because they were about to get all the information out of him. And I think that was maybe he killed himself thinking, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Like, somebody's get information to him going, you need to kill yourself, mate. You know, like, you can't talk about Clinton, you can't talk about all that sort of stuff. I'll tell you, I think there's a mixed bag. I think there's probably a group of them, Andrew, him. I mean, you're saying, like, the thing he got convicted on was the massage thing. Like, they would get teenagers to go to his hotel rooms and give him a massage, and then they would need to fucking finish him off. That was basically like his kink. And that Glenda Maxwell basically enabled that. But they were so involved with so many people that I don't think all it was about that. I think some of it was like hiding it. You know, like they would get pictures taken with Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Piers Morgan. You know, like, what's that guy that was a convicted paedophile in here, Max? He was like the editor of the News of the World.
Oh, the white hair?
Yeah.
Max Shepard, does it?
Something like that. They were pictured with him. They would get Bill Gates. They basically just created a network. I think some of it was the paedophile stuff, some of it wasn't, as a way of protecting the paedophile ring, if you know what I mean. So they have 10% of these people are in on this. 90% of them have got no idea. They just think he's an investment banker with loads of money in a private island and they like to go and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's how they hide it. I don't think that guy, every person that's been on his private jet was a paedophile. Like, everybody in that book was a paedophile, because if that's true, like Clinton, Gates, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, like they're all in it, and I don't think that that's quite true.
Yeah.
I think that they had it like that. But
I felt sorry for Chris Tucker because he was on
it, man.
He was on the flight, and it was for an AIDS charity in Africa, and I think he just went over to help, and I was like, poor guy, man. Struggling actor, no had a gig in ages. Anybody would jump on a plane with a
Aye.
president and go over to an island.
Gets
to-
associated with him.
Aye.
What do you think about Bill Clinton?
I think he's a creepy bastard. I think
Right.
there's. I mean, what's going to happen here if I say something?
Fuck all.
Aye.
Nothing.
Am I going to get suicided?
No.
I mean, I think he's just a horrible bastard, really.
Right.
He's just like mad shagger, cheats on his wife, used his power to get his whole all the time.
Do you think he's a paedophile?
I don't know.
Aye.
I really don't know.
I think there's been no accusations against him
Aye.
other than people going, Bill Clinton was with Jeffrey Epstein. That means that's 1 + 1 = 1,000,000 potentially. There's the people that have been accused, I believe. But there's eyewitnesses to say that Prince Andrew was next to the pool with like a fucking naked 14-year-old and shit. Like,
Yeah.
a pool guy told that, and there's been accusations against the people that did shit, and I think the people that have had the accusations against them didn't do fuck all. That's what I think
know.
anyway.
Time to move on anyway.
Aye, let's get away from the fucking paedophiles, mate.
Pedophile fucking lizard island. What's the tennis player that's just
Novak Djokovic.
Djokovic? Aye.
Right, aye, we want to talk about this.
See, he get the jail in Australia.
Aye. And I think rightfully so.
Yeah. I must say, I fucking loved that, by the way. See, when he refused the vaccine, which you're entitled today, when he refused it, all these mad anti-vaxxers for Glasgow were on Twitter going out, on yourself, Djokovic, fucking yes. 24 years later, he's in the jail. Get it right up, yeah. Which I've not heard him say anything about this, by the way. I think it's just his right to refuse the vaccine, but everybody's latched onto him like he's a mad anti-vax warrior.
I think he is a bit. I think some of the information that's come out about him, like he believes that if he rubs bread on his belly, like he gets like some sort of special power or something.
Right, he's a cunt then.
So he's come out. It's things have come out where you're like, this guy's not well. He's an elite level athlete, but there's something not right going on in his mind. We can get into a conversation about how Australia are dealing with this. I think they're going too far, but they are a sovereign nation, and if they decide the laws within their borders, and this guy wants to go there and upset the apple cart, then he's going to get the fucking jail. And also, he is a pure. It's not even just. If you're an individual, right, so if you say to me, Paul, I don't feel comfortable getting a vaccination, and here's my reasoning, blah, 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 right? I would be like, look, mate, I respect your right to an opinion.
Yes.
But when you start to dig in and you're like, no, but I'm denying COVID, and I'm a COVID denier, that's a different thing, mate. That's a very different thing. Like, there's somebody on my Twitter has had double vaccination, and the second jab, they had some really one of the unfortunate low statistical anomalies of like they have adverse effect outcomes or whatever, adverse effects on their health. So they're not getting boosted. I understand that. But they sitting going on about fucking COVID denial, conspiracy theories, New World Order? No. Yeah. And this guy is in a position of real influence, and I think he should just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And if he wants to participate in these tennis tournaments and continue to be a world-class athlete, he needs to get vaccinated. Yeah. That's where we are.
Well, I completely agree with that.
Mandatory vaccination's only new, mate.
Yeah.
This is the big misconception, is that this has been forced on us and it's on you, and we've never had this before. You didn't have a choice of your measles, mumps and rubella. Like, you're getting that shit, like, as a baby, and so I can't get my head around it, mate. You know what I mean?
Look at the numbers as well, since everybody has been vaccinated. I mean, at one point, 1,000 people, like 700, 800 people were dying in Italy. Like, that's no normal.
No, of course.
I don't care what anybody says.
150,000 people in this country alone have died.
Yeah.
And if you want to deny that, or put that excess, this is excess deaths. Remember, this isn't certificates, people putting shit on certificates. This is 150,000 deaths over and above the last decade's average.
Yeah.
That is what we're looking at, and you want to sit and deny that.
Yeah.
Go and take a fuck to yourself. It's so insensitive, mate. I seen a tweet the other day for a guy that said that he sat and watched his wife die over a fucking Zoom call. I actually sat and had a fucking greet about it.
Yeah.
Put my phone down and actually was like, I need to sit and have a fucking wee greet about this, man. That's horrific.
Yeah.
And this guy's having to get faced with, it isn't real.
Aye.
I know more than the experts. I've read it on Facebook. Fuck you. Go and take a fuck to yourself, man. I've got no time for it.
High dose vitamin C, vitamin D. You're like, mate, fucking die.
Aye.
You die, you
Inject ultraviolet light into your veins.
Aye.
It's like fucking some sort of superhero or some sort of baddie. But I've got no time for COVID denial, mate.
Yeah.
Like I said, if somebody wants to make a personal choice whether or not to go and get an injection or whatever, that's up to them. You can do that. But you need to realise that, you know, if you don't pay taxes, you go to jail. If you don't get vaccinated, you're not allowed to go and participate in these big events because you're putting yourself and other people in danger according to what we know right now.
Yeah.
When that changes, my opinion will change, you know what I mean? Like,
But you go with science.
absolutely,
and you go with
like the
facts.
Omicron stuff, right? Like, did the Scottish government, the restrictions, should they have done that? No,
Yeah.
they went too far. They thought, we're going to get in front of this. This is going to be another disaster. Cases are going up day by day. But people, you know, a week later, we realised people are only dying.
Yeah.
So then they've brung their restrictions back down pretty quickly within like 2-3 weeks. I think that's reasonable, mate. I think that's reasonable.
Because nothing much has changed, has it really? You can still go for a meal. Shows are still on.
Well, if you even just to go back to what you're saying, if you look at the numbers, they're saying that Omicron's less deadly, but maybe it's the vaccination.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the fact that 90% of this country's vaccinated that we're not seeing the people die.
Yes. So part of my New Year's resolutions was to get healthier and stuff and stop cigars. This is the 12th of January. I've not had a cigar in 12 days, but oh my fucking God, mate, am I going through some mental gymnastics of just craving tobacco.
Right.
I've never really smoked cigarettes. I'm thinking about fags. My throat's fucked. My throat's still fucked. Like,
Smoking the cigars over the Christmas period, like the 10-a-day habit.
Yep.
You'd go up to.
Yeah, mate. Like I'm going through some detox thing, man.
How long did you do that, like intense smoking of the cigars, do you think?
I probably smoked cigars for about a year, but the binging,
Aye, at Christmas there.
I would say 3 months.
Right. I would probably say that it'll probably take about half of that. So I would say a month and a half would be likely to keep noticing shit where you're like, my throat's still fucked and I'm still feeling the after effects of that. But is it no wild that you can do something for such a short period of time and it has such an impact on you, mate? It just shows you how bad they are for you.
Yeah, they're bad. Even smoking them sometimes, you're like, this, I can feel it. I can feel this fucking me. Like, this is fucking me up, man. It's like smoking an exhaust pipe, man. You're like that. Oh!
What was it you smoked? Hamlets?
Towards the end, I was smoking anything, mate. A proper junk ball. You got a cigar, mate? I started off with good ones, like £10 cigars, and I smoked it the other week.
See, I quite like the idea of a Cuban.
Yeah.
I know, can we get Cubans in this country? Not a band in America, but...
I think you can order them online.
Right. I like the idea of like a stogie or, you know, like celebrate something with like a cigar. But, oh, mate, I remember smoking a Hamlet one time when I was like 14. I had a fucking, what a Friday night I had. I had like a litre bottle of Strongbow and a Hamlet and I fucking waited everywhere. It was fun, a packet of Hamlets lying in the ground, walking about Carntine. And they were sealed like in their wee like wrapper, or I don't think I'd have smoked it, but there was like 4 in it and there was like 3 years and we had one each, man, and I fucking spewed everywhere, man. I can't hold it.
Oh, mate, dipped in Rehypnol.
Do you know what you need for your sore throat, mate?
What?
Cold water therapy.
Oh, yeah, that chemo shite.
70 quid. 70 quid. Give me it, I'll take you to the fucking a public space and you can go into the water.
I just walk us in with a leash and then take my bank details.
So how's the health kit going?
Do you know, in the last week I've not been to the gym, but because I've been busy with working gigs and self-employed stuff, but I have still been positive. I've been trying my best, no eating shite. It is what it is, mate. Sometimes life catches up with you. I'd done the gym fucking 4 days last week or something, so I've not been able to get this week. I'll probably go tomorrow.
gonna say it's only Wednesday.
Aye, I'll go tomorrow. What about you?
Like I said, mate, I've been keeping it going. Everything's still going in the right direction. I'm still keeping to whatever we plan I put in. But see, when people say New Year's resolution, mate, I'm doing it for January, and then I'll see where I'm not going to be like, this is 2022. You know, I'm going to get ripped. I don't even want to be fucking ripped. I'm going to be honest, mate. It sounds like fucking hell to me.
Yeah.
I think my missus likes my belly anyway, so fuck it.
What do you want to call the podcast? Prince Andrew as a sweaty nonce.
Aye. I'd see if we can get away with that.
Do you think we would?
Well, he's called the Duke of York. We could maybe say the Duke of York's a sweaty nonce instead of like Prince Andrew. They might have like triggers for words to take shit down. We could maybe use the Duke of York or the Duke of York. Dating. What is that language? Do you remember that? When you were a wee guy, where you would switch the first letters about. So like my name would be Schwalpeels. What would you be? Karen Donnell. Instead of Darren Connell.
Karen Donnell. I don't really have anything else to say, mate.
Let's wrap in, mate.
Let's wrap it.
52 minutes in.
52 minutes in, like I says, the podcast is sponsored by Merchant City Medical. Thank you very much for the sponsorship. That sponsorship will cover the fees of this podcast. If you would like to donate a coffee, then that goes towards me, so I can live my life. You can donate £3 for a coffee on the coffee app on my social media. Any support would be appreciated. It's better than punting my arse.
Of course.
Paul says I looked like Robbie Williams as well. I'm buzzing out my nut. Aye, we'll see you next week.
Doing a dab.
A dab.
Robbie Williams dab.
I'm loving angels instead.